Chapter 14, Part A, Other Stories of Mahadevi. In the Adhyaya 11 of Durga Saptashati, all the Devatas praise Devi after the killing of Shumba and Nishumba. It's known as Narayani Stuti. Out of the 55 shlokas in the Adhyaya 11, 18 of them are called Narayani Stuti. I will recite the 18 after the stories for the day. Devi grants the Devatas a boon after listening to her praise by Indra and the other Devatas. They ask her to protect them whenever there is a calamity. Devi assures the Devatas that she would take in her own hands all the miseries in the three worlds and tackle its challengers. She tells them of things to come in the future where she would do whatever it took to accomplish the destruction of the army, of the enemy army. To reassure them of her appearance in later days, she tells them of her future appearances. So the first one is killing of Shumba and Nishumba in Dwapar Yuga. She said Shumba and Nishumba would be born again. She herself would take birth as the daughter of Nanda and Yashoda, who would be foster parents to Sri Krishna. She would thrive in the Vindhya mountains and kill Shumba and Nishumba. Then the second one is Raktadantika. There would be a band of Rakshasas by name Viprachitta. Goddess would take a very cruel form and slay them. She would have to devour the Rakshasas to kill them. Her teeth would be red with the blood, and she would be known as Raktadantika. Then the third one, she would kill Asura Durgama and be known as Durga, Shakambari, and Shatakshi. More on Durga in the next minute. Then fourth one, she would appear as Bhima Devi. Then fifth one, she would kill Arunasura as Brahmara. More on Brahmara too. How did Mahadevi get the name Durga? It's about times long after Shumba and Nishumba were killed. On the foothills of the Himalayas, Durgama stood in meditation for 1,000 years. Who was he? What did he want? Durgama was the son of Ruru, who was born in the lineage of Hiranyaksha. So he was a pure Daitya and a dreadful one. He saw that the Devatas were able to sustain only because of the Vedas. He wanted to get them. So he stood focusing on Brahma with no food, no water, and only air. Brahmanam manasadhyatva vayubhaksho vyatishthita. Brahma appeared before him and asked him what he wanted. He asked for two things. First one, Vedas that were with Brahmanas and Devatas. And second one, the strength to defeat them. From then on, Brahmanas forgot the Vedas and couldn't do Homa. As there was no Homa offering, the Devatas had absolutely no strength. Durgama attacked them and they went and hid in a cave in the Himalayas. We had no rains, so no crops. People died. Their cattle died too. Then some Brahmanas, with some inner peace still being with them, knew that the only way to come out of this distress was Mahadevi. They went to the Himalayan mountains, prayed, and pleased the Mahadevi. She came to them. Seeing the dire straits of the Brahmanas, she shed tears. 1,000 streams of water for 9 days and 9 nights that filled the rivers and watered the crops and other plants. The Devatas came out of their hiding, joined the Brahmanas, and praised her as Shatakshi, meaning one with 100 eyes. She then fed and sustained the world with Shaka produced from her own body. Atmadeha Samudbhavaihi. So they praised her as Shakambari. She then created a protective circle of light around the Devatas and Brahmanas and went to fight the Daitya. She slays Durgama and came to be called Durga. After a while, when sages were performing fire rituals in the Himalayas, Many Rakshasas gathered and hindered their worship. Devi took a form which was in Bhimakara, meaning gigantic, and hence she came to be called Bhima Devi. And just like Durgama, another Daitya, Arunasura, meditated on Gayatri Mantra for hundreds of years. And when Brahma appeared before him, asked him, "Grant me a boon that I cannot be killed by any devata, demon, animal, man, or woman. No weapon should be able to harm me." Brahma agrees. All hell breaks loose. Devatas gather. They pray to Mahadevi, and lo and behold, Mahadevi appears in the form of Brahmari, the goddess of black bees. She calls Arunasura for a war. Arunasura says, "Get your army." Devi opens her arms wide. At that moment, the skies are ripped apart, and from the gap between them was a heavy downpour of bees and hornets. Their buzz was earth shattering. The Asura was stung by them and killed in no time. So, whenever there is a demon that creates distress, Devi steps in to handle that demon and protect the world.